Hello and welcome to the Sleuth booth, and we're here to take a little look at this ongoing case, this ongoing investigation in Florida, in Pasco County, I believe. A lady went missing over the Thanksgiving weekend by the name of Kathleen Moore. Her picture's right here. And Kathleen Moore, she had a boyfriend. I believe his name was Colin Knapp. And apparently they got into an argument over the Thanksgiving weekend. And she left the property, left the boyfriend's property to get an Uber. I'm guessing she was going to get an Uber. I think she lived with her mum, I believe. I know her mum's spoken on TV. I've not dived massively into this. I've just watched WFLA and a couple of other YouTube channels regarding this. And obviously I watched the Pasco County Sheriff give out the confirmation that they've got her body. Now, at first, what happened is when she was originally just missing, she was declared missing. The last known location was her waiting to get an Uber. So she must have booked an Uber. She's left the boyfriend's, Colin's house, and never to be seen again. And then I think after she was declared missing, there was obviously an investigation and a search for her. And a homeless guy, I believe in a dumpster somewhere, a dumping ground. It was either a landfill or a dumpster. I think it was a dumpster near a dumpster. Well, first of all, it was her mobile phone. Her mobile phone had been thrown away, and then they found the boyfriend's clothes that were covered in blood. And then once it was put under analysis, it was Kathleen's blood. Now, there was so much blood on his clothes, I believe it was his pants and whatever else. There was so much blood that they were able to determine her deceased before even finding her body. They knew that they was looking for a body now. There was far too much blood loss to be looking for a woman that's alive. She's clearly deceased. So the boyfriend was arrested straight away because obviously, her blood is on your clothes and there's enough there to know that she's dead. So anyway, they've conducted this search for a body, and they've come across a deceased body of a woman that they couldn't confirm that it was Kathleen, obviously. But it was what they was looking for, basically. It was what they was looking for in the area that they was suspected it to be. So she's been identified now. So Pasco County Sheriff has, I think he stated they used tattoos to be able to determine that it was her body. So I don't know what condition the body is in, but obviously we know she's lost a lot of blood at the hands of the boyfriend, and she's been identified via her tattoos. So she'd been, I think they said it was a heavily wooded area. So we're going to have a quick look. This is just a 40-second clip. I will give you a link in the description where you can go and watch this in full, because there is like a 10-minute press conference from the sheriff. I think the sheriff and one of the investigating officers, I believe, they give like a 10-minute press conference. But we're going to look at this 40-second clip, what I believe is the important part. We're going to have a little brief look at this, and then maybe we can speculate a little bit. So let's go.
I can say, she is deceased. Today we positively identified her body based on tattoos. Nicole came in around 11:30 this morning that she was discovered in the woods off of Kamalo Drive, which is, she was about 50 yards northeast of Colin Knapp's home. And so it is a very heavily brushed area. She was actually covered. You can almost describe she was definitely covered on purpose to make sure nobody can come upon her. And even as detectives will tell you, even when you're 2 feet away from her, it's hard to see that her body was there.
Guys, so even if you was 2 feet away from her, it was hard to see the body is there. Now, if you guys, when you get a chance, go, if you haven't seen this already, go and watch that press conference, because let me tell you what I picked up. I don't know whether it's just me or whether you guys will agree with me, but I noticed that the police officers here are really trying their hardest to conduct this efficiently, to be as transparent as possible, to give people a sense of trust in them and faith in them. And I think it's because with the Gabby Petito situation, I mean, the one thing that's come out the Gabby Petito situation is I'm starting to see missing person reports all of the time. We've got this story. There's a number of stories out there for DV and missing, and it's brought it to the forefront of everybody's minds, and that's a good thing. The fact that more people are getting involved and we're seeing this more often, that can only be a good thing, because there's more awareness. People's faces are becoming more recognisable, so it's easier to find someone safe. And there are a lot that we don't hear about unless you go to the right places on social media. There are a lot of people that get found safe, children as well. But many of them don't. Many of them are like this story right here. And I think the key point, although it's good to see that the police are obviously learning their lesson and they're trying to be far more efficient with this one. They don't want to be sort of called out like we saw with Utah police, Northport police, all of this, all of these criticisms. So it's good that the police are becoming a little bit more, I suppose, having more savvy and more, really taking a look at what they can actually do and how efficient they need to be and how important every move is and every decision is. I think that's a good thing, but I think what we need to be, that's good for the case. But I think what we need to really focus on, something that, since the Gabby Petito situation, I've started to really recognise, is that there's so many cases like this. So many cases like this, and so many children's cases, baby cases. We really need to address why these things are happening. Why is domestic violence so much more worse now? Why are people killing their girlfriends? Why are people taking babies? I know you've got the I don't want to say the word because I know YouTube don't like it, the traffic situation, drive-in traffic situation, if you know what I mean. But I don't understand why, there's so much of it. There really is so much of it, and what we're hearing a lot this year is boyfriends who are killing their girlfriends, and or really loving and caring and beautiful young women are finding themselves in relationships with narcissistic, controlling, violent, sometimes drug addicted, and I just wonder how we got to that point, where the women's confidence has gone really low, and male insecurities has gone really high. It just seems really odd to me, and I think we need to look at those fractures, not just solve these cases, but look at those fractures and what, as a community, what we can do about it. So guys, you've been watching the Sleuth Booth, and I'll catch you again next time. Take care.